Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling Review Series for the 16th of October, 1982. We've got, as you know, more than 2,000 of these audios available, both old school and new school wrestling. Obviously, my preference is old school because that's when wrestling actually mattered. This is a pretty eventful, and they seem to do these on a regular basis. A pretty eventful uh, match series, as there are main matches as opposed to squash matches for the majority of this particular program. Joe Sladuke and Ricky Steamboat are here. Obviously, Steamboat and Youngblood moving towards the tag team championship, but that's not where they're going in this particular deal. Steamboat and Youngblood obviously are trying to team together, and that's some highlights there. Also, Funk and Youngblood do come up with each other here. A little bit of go arounds there. Funk and Youngblood, are going at it for the $100,000 of Dory Funk's money, and eventually Funk moves that up to $400,000 for certain people, including Sweet Brown Sugar, who comes in later. Worth checking out this match, though. I mean, Dory Funk brings so much out of Youngblood. It's just really amazing, actually. And hip tosses and basic maneuvers, body slams. Youngblood in the studio having the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. And Dory Funk Jr. even backing off and going to the floor. Funk comes back in and goes into a brawl. Masterful with selling and also masterful with turning things in a way that it doesn't look phony, doesn't look fake. It looks reasonable, but at the same time, kind of there. And both guys come back up again. The $100,000 on the line adds to the story, and Dory Funk Jr. really does out wrestle his opponent. Takes him down, chin locks, basic maneuvers, and keeps him going in a continual manner. Brawling basically toe-to-toe with each other there. And Funk manages to take his man down, goes for the spinning toe hold. Keep in mind that Funk uses the ropes here to gain an illegal advantage and eventually gets a modified submission. Spoken out of context, but then we go to Joe Sladuke and Ricky Steamboat here. That match is, a certain clash of styles. Steamboat being a major babyface in the area, also able to sell for LeDuc, who hasn't really had, on television anyway, a great deal of competition. LeDuc starts brawling, but Steamboat comes back, body slam and backbreaker, gets a near fall on him, but then gets kicked off really heavily. So, even when he's injured, LeDuc has a certain level of power that's above what a guy like Steamboat, who has been a major force in the area for several years at this point, can handle. LeDuc also measuring his shots and taking as many shots at Steamboat as he possibly can, getting a short-term advantage a little bit there. Then we see LeDuc coming in and managing to go in the direction of keeping things going. Post-match, Gene Anderson makes his way out, and Steamboat gets beaten up for several minutes before finally the babyfaces run in, including returning Jay Youngblood. Anderson and Kernoodle cut promos. Anderson and Kernoodle not known for teaming, although I believe they do in the weeks that come, do some teamwork as a six-man tag team a couple of times. Mike Rotundo and Gene Anderson in an interesting run there. Kernoodle basically says he's still part of Slaughter's army and still wants to be supported by Slaughter. Mike Rotundo, still a babyface, but needing extra crowd support and other such things there. Rotundo in a neck brace because he's been laid out by Bad Leroy Brown at house shows, although the announcers do a reasonably not great job of endorsing how he got in the neck brace. The neck brace looks like a modified toilet seat, so not exactly a good deal there. Gene Anderson cranks up on the neck with a reverse chin lock and then takes Rotundo down with arm bars and the like. Modified almost seated abdominal stretch by Rotundo. Rotundo not wanting to take any backward steps there if he possibly can help it. But then we see continuation of things there, and Steamboat, or I'm sorry, Rotundo tries to put the leg over, tries to get a submission. Rotundo does eventually get tied up in a inside cradle and gets the victory. Again, angry at the interference and issues with Leroy Brown. Also, Jimmy Valiant coming back and kind of putting things over that he's going to be back in the area in the next little while in a post-match promo. Then we go to another in the series of matches here, which happens to be in this particular occasion. We move to Kernoodle and a guy with the last name of Lane. I didn't catch his first name. Kernoodle, in a singles match is relatively rare because they are pushing him and Slaughter with the tag belts and on and off with the tag belts for quite a while. Kernoodle gets front face locks and other basic maneuvers, keeping things under his control for as long as he can. Gets some ride time and some wrestling time and basically smothers his opponent. Johnny Weaver in the area back again and kind of talks about making challenges there. Local area promos leading to that, and Josh Ledoux is back, and we kind of see highlights from his previous run there as part of Weaver's promo. Weaver says things are basically all but out of control in the area, and he's hoping to come back to bring some semblance of order back in. And Nelson, Private Nelson, who hasn't really been referred to all that much since Slaughter started teaming more with Kernoodle on a consistent basis against Johnny Weaver, the returning Johnny Weaver. Weaver basically comes in every few months, is here, and then disappears, going back to Georgia or Florida, I would assume. Basic wrestling with the Cobra Clutch still being employed by Nelson. Promised by Steamboat that he will get revenge on those that jumped him earlier in the program, and also a deeper commitment to the teaming with Youngblood promising the NWA Tag Team Champions coming home to them. And Johnny Weaver says that he wants, again, post-match Law and Order to return to the Carolinas. So we'll move forward from there, but we'll be back with more right after this.